Many people think the most dangerous moment in a Formula One race is the final corner, when drivers push for victory. In reality, the most chaotic moment happens just seconds after the start. In the first 10 to 15 seconds, 20 cars launch toward the first corner at over 300 km/h, all fighting for the same space. The grid is tightly packed, visibility is limited, and one small mistake can trigger a chain reaction that changes races, championships, and even safety rules. Over the years, several opening lap crashes have reshaped Formula One, proving how thin the line is between triumph and disaster. Number 10. Monza 2018. A title fight turns sour. The Italian Grand Prix in 2018 took place during a tense championship battle between Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton arrived at Monza leading the standings by 17 points, but Ferrari was racing in front of passionate home fans and desperately wanted victory. Kimi Räikkönen delivered exactly what Ferrari hoped for, securing pole position with the fastest qualifying lap in Formula One history at the time, averaging an incredible 263.588 km/h around the legendary circuit. But the real drama unfolded just behind him. When the race started, Hamilton immediately attacked Vettel approaching the second chicane. The two rivals made contact, sending Vettel spinning across the track. Within seconds, Vettel's race had collapsed. He dropped to the back of the field while Hamilton continued fighting near the front. Although Vettel fought back to finish fourth, the damage to his championship hopes had already been done. Hamilton eventually won the race and extended his title lead. Sometimes a championship doesn't end with a dramatic crash into the wall. Sometimes it ends with a single spin. Number 9. Silverstone 2021. The collision that ignited a rivalry. The 2021 British Grand Prix produced one of the most controversial crashes in modern Formula One. Max Verstappen led Lewis Hamilton in the championship by 32 points, and tensions between Red Bull and Mercedes were already rising. On the opening lap, the two rivals battled wheel to wheel before reaching the ultra-fast Copse corner at nearly 290 km/h. Hamilton attempted an inside move while Verstappen held his line, and the cars made contact. Verstappen slammed into the barriers with a massive 51G impact and was taken to the hospital for checks. Hamilton received a 10-second penalty, but still went on to win the race. The incident ignited a fierce rivalry that would dominate the rest of the 2021 championship season. Number 8. Brazil 2012. Vettel's championship nightmare. The 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix was the final race of the season, and the championship was hanging in the balance. Sebastian Vettel entered the race with a narrow 13-point lead over Ferrari's Fernando Alonso. All Vettel needed to do was finish fourth to secure the title. But just seconds after the race began, disaster struck. Vettel made a poor start and dropped several positions. Then, in the opening lap chaos, contact with Bruno Senna sent the Red Bull spinning across the track. For a terrifying moment, Vettel's car faced oncoming traffic. Miraculously, he avoided further collisions and continued the race, although his car was damaged and he had dropped all the way to the back of the field. What followed became one of the most remarkable comeback drives in Formula One history. Vettel fought through rain, chaos, and strategy errors to climb back to sixth place. That result was just enough to secure his third consecutive world championship by only 3 points. Number 7. Belgium 2012. The near miss that changed safety. The Belgian Grand Prix in 2012 produced one of the most frightening images ever seen in Formula One. At the start of the race, Lotus driver Romain Grosjean attempted an aggressive move on Lewis Hamilton at the La Source hairpin. The move went horribly wrong. Grosjean lost control, and his car launched into the air, flying directly over the cockpit of Fernando Alonso's Ferrari. The Lotus narrowly missed Alonso's helmet by just inches. 4 drivers were eliminated instantly, and the incident was so dangerous that Grosjean received a rare one-race ban. But the crash also had a lasting legacy. The terrifying image of a car flying above another driver's head became one of the key arguments that eventually led to the introduction of the Halo cockpit protection device. 6 years later, that same safety system would save Grosjean's own life. Number 6. Australia 2002. A massive opening corner disaster. The 2002 season opener in Melbourne produced one of the most chaotic starts ever witnessed in Formula One. Ferrari's Rubens Barrichello started from pole position, with Michael Schumacher beside him and Ralf Schumacher just behind in third. As the cars approached turn 1, Barrichello defended his position. Ralf Schumacher had nowhere to go. The Williams car launched into the air after hitting the Ferrari, flying over it before crashing down in a dramatic accident. The result was total chaos. 8 cars were eliminated instantly, including several midfield contenders. Commentator Martin Brundle famously described the scene as drivers shunting in sympathy. Only 8 cars finished the race, making it one of the most chaotic season openers in Formula One history. Number 5. Hungary 2021. Bottas's Bowling Alley. The Hungarian Grand Prix in 2021 began on a damp track with drivers struggling to judge braking distances. Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas started on the front row and needed a clean start. Instead, he made a catastrophic mistake. Braking too late into turn 1, Bottas crashed into Lando Norris, triggering a chain reaction that collected Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. At the same time, Lance Stroll crashed into Charles Leclerc in another separate collision. 5 cars were eliminated immediately. The restart created one of the strangest moments in Formula One history. Lewis Hamilton was the only driver who lined up on the grid, while every other car started from the pit lane after switching to dry tires. The race eventually produced a surprise winner, Esteban Ocon, claiming his first Formula One victory for Alpine. Number 4. Silverstone, 1973. Chaos in a dangerous era. Formula One in the early 1970s was far more dangerous than today. The 1973 British Grand Prix featured 29 cars starting on a circuit with minimal safety barriers and almost no runoff areas. On the first lap, Jody Scheckter lost control at Woodcote Corner. His spinning car bounced off the pit wall and returned directly into the racing line. The result was a massive chain reaction crash involving 9 cars. One driver, Andrea De Adamic, suffered injuries that effectively ended his Formula One career. The scale of the crash forced Silverstone to redesign the corner and introduce a chicane to reduce speeds. Number 3. Singapore 2017. Ferrari's championship collapse. The 2017 Singapore Grand Prix began in wet conditions, the first night race in Formula One history to start in the rain. Sebastian Vettel started on pole with teammate Kimi Räikkönen nearby and Max Verstappen in between them. As the lights went out, Verstappen made an excellent start, but Vettel moved across to defend. Räikkönen also moved inward from the outside line. Verstappen became trapped between both Ferraris. The 3 cars collided violently, triggering a chain reaction that also eliminated Fernando Alonso. All 3 contenders were out before reaching the first corner. Lewis Hamilton, who started 5th, inherited the lead and eventually won the race, a result that played a crucial role in his championship victory later that year. Number 2. Spa 1998, the biggest pile-up in F1 history. The Belgian Grand Prix in 1998 began under extremely heavy rain. Visibility was so poor that drivers could barely see the cars ahead. Just moments after the start, David Coulthard lost control and spun across the track. The field arrived seconds later. One by one, cars slammed into the wreckage. In total, 13 cars were damaged in the massive pileup, one of the largest accidents in Formula One history. Because the crash occurred before the second lap, the race was restarted, allowing most drivers another chance to compete. But the chaos was not over yet. Later in the race, championship contender Michael Schumacher crashed into Coulthard again while attempting to lap him, ending Schumacher's race and triggering a furious confrontation in the pits. Number 1. Bahrain 2020. Grosjean's miracle escape. The most shocking opening lap crash of the modern era occurred at the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix. Romain Grosjean lost control of his Haas after slight contact with Daniil Kvyat. His car slammed into the barrier at nearly 200 km/h with a terrifying 67G impact. The chassis split in half and burst into flames. For 28 seconds, the world watched in horror as Grosjean's car burned. Then, incredibly, he climbed out of the wreckage and walked away. The Halo safety device, once criticized by many drivers, had prevented the barrier from striking his head. Grosjean survived with burns to his hands, but the crash became one of the greatest demonstrations of modern Formula One's safety technology. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Formula One's most controversial moments, make sure to like and subscribe for more incredible F1 stories and motorsport history.